Hello my dear Pisces, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between September 1st and September 15, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can contact me at queenofcupstarot@outlook.com. So, I used the Legacy of the Divine Tarot and I will start shuffling your cards. And I call the Divine with love and light. And I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Pisces viewers. So, I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, we have a big personal gallery that came through. Gemini, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Gemini can be Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. And also here we have Aries female. We had a little the King of Pentacles also, and a little Page of Wands. So that might be the, yeah, dealing with a lot of people. Here you have a Knight of Coins. That's usually Taurus. Yes, okay. So I also want to take the chance to tell you that the Sun is in Virgo from the 22nd of August. I'm doing this, it's the 19th of August, it's 2 days left to the big solar eclipse on the 21st. So, and it will be, the Sun will be in Virgo and move over to Libra at the 22nd of September. Libra, here you have the sign for Libra in the bottom of this card. Mercury is moving retrograde since August 14 on the cusp Virgo Leo, and it will station at September 5 and move direct again September 6. And it's moving out of Leo totally on September 9. See here. Yes, moving out of Leo, September 9. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. And it's ending up in Virgo throughout the month. Also, Mars and Venus will transit from Leo to Virgo. Full moon in Pisces, September 6, the same day that Mercury goes direct. And new moon on the cusp Virgo Libra, September 20. We will also have the September equinox on the 22nd, the same day when Virgo moves over to Libra. The September equinox is equally long day and night throughout the world. Jupiter moves direct in Libra, Saturn's moving direct in Sagittarius, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, Neptune retrograde in your sign Pisces, Uranus retrograde in Aries. So for you, Neptune is going to oppose Sun in Virgo and will be fully illuminated by the Sun September 5. The day before the full moon will be in Pisces, and full moon will be in in your sign Pisces. I'm so sorry. And it's the same day that Mercury stations before it moves direct again. So the 5th and the 6th might be powerful days for you, Pisces. Okay, so I will just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Pisces, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. It's a card here wants to show, yes, King of Coins. Okay, so King of Coins is in the bottom of your past here, together with the 8 of Wands. So it might be that some of you waiting for messages from an Earth person or someone with Earth in their chart. This is probably August or going back into the summer. It might be bigger process of times if it's major arcana cards. Big cycles usually take longer time. And here you have the now. That's the first part of September 2017, probably. and here is your future, the second part of September, and it might move into 3 months into the future. This is a forecast. Tarot is beautiful like that. We can see our future and we can change our destiny, but sometimes we won't recognize our future because it hasn't happened yet. So you might go back a little bit later in time, and first you get a forecast, and then you get like more information. You can take in more of the messages when you're actually in the situation. You can also go back when you have got out of the situation to evaluate if you were able to follow the messages from the divine of how to free yourself from a certain destiny or soul contract or karma or personality traits that might not be in your best interest. Okay, so the first card for you, Pisces, is Eight of Coins, and you know we have the Eight of Wands and the King of Coins in the bottom of the deck there. So Eight of Coins is talking about this with karma, problems solving. Usually things, patterns repeat in our lives, and that is because we have certain survival skills, or we have decided upon certain things. For example, you can have decided that you are unlovable, and therefore you are going to have a lot of encounter that proves to you that you are unlovable. So this might be a repetitive sign somewhere along the line, maybe in childhood or in early life, in past life, sorry, or your early life also, maybe your first love or something similar made you believe that you are unlovable. And therefore you are going to have a lot of proof on this. So it's like having the same nightmare over and over again until you find a solution. Decide that you are lovable. See this. Usually it comes up when you are really sad, those soul contracts, and you will say like, oh, no one will ever love me. So that's your soul contract usually. Or you will say, I will never fall in love again. That's another soul contract. So you can look at those and you can rewrite them. It's not as hard as it sounds, but it's a little bit complicated. You need to go down to the to your subconscious and rewrite your soul contract in the chamber of soul contracts. So, but you can do it just by in a little bit simpler way, just by changing attitude. Whenever you hear you say I'm unlovable, or I will never love someone again, or whatever it is, you can say, okay, so I am lovable. You just change it in your daily, day-to-day, everyday speech, and you can say, yes, I will love again, but next time it will be a person that's worth loving. Well, that might be another soul contract. So we should be very, very careful with what we say, not in the way that we are kind of start to censor ourselves or so, but be aware, awake, and see, and also watch what kind of effect that what you say about yourself or your surrounding has on your life. You can just watch it. You don't have to be scared about it, because you can change your mind anytime and start seeing something else. And usually the pattern that you have is totally different from the pattern that you might see in your other family, like extended family or your core family, or with your partner or your friends. You will see that they have crazy patterns too, but it's something totally different, because they have decided upon something else, that, well, I'm lovable, but I can't stay in a relationship because I need my freedom. That might be another thing. It's a lot of different soul contracts. And here we have a Five of Swords. So it seems like you feel like other people don't really cooperate with you. They don't really give you a helping hand, we can say. They try to destroy things for you, or try to make a mess in your life, or steal your stuff. So it might be you doing this too. Eight of Coins is someone that's really willing to do the work and throw themselves out there and really try their best and finding out what's the next right move. This one it's like a very hasty energy. It's very hasty, and it's so full of energy, because it's a little bit full of itself, to be honest. It feels it feels like it's unbeatable, like it's so smart on top of things, and they are using and abusing other people in great haste. So and they think they are smart, but really they aren't. When you steal other people's energy, it just means that you live in your ego and you don't have access to your superpowers. It's like being a caveman instead of Superman. So being like Homo sapiens in a very old print, like old DNA setting, instead of being like Homo sapiens 3.0. So they feel like they have everything under control because they have mastered a little piece of their brain called logic. And they are using this to win over other people. It's really ancient. It's like when we first discovered we were in a human body. So it's like 400,000 years old, and it hasn't really evolved since then. These 8 of coins, they have evolved because they have lived in different societies and learned a lot of things by experience, and seeing that cooperation and communication and coexisting, and this is what has made human beings thrive. If we had been like this, every one of us, we would have been dead by now. This might still be like 2 to 10% maybe of the world's population is still like this. But the most have come to a conclusion that it's better to cooperate. That is why we, as human beings, we can go step on an aeroplane and fly without any difficulties. If you would put a lot of hyenas, for example, in the same aeroplane, no one will be able to sit on their seat, or there will be big fights. And so you can see, we have tamed our natural instincts of territorial pissing. But someone has not been able to do this, and it might also be that your solution here to a certain problem is that you are going to have to defend yourself better. Sometimes it's like this. If someone like a hyena wants to come and take your airplane seat, it might be good to be able to say no, thank you, don't do this, or even send them on their way. So the 5 of Swords is good. We need balance. We can't be just cooperating. It's very good to cooperate when you are with cooperating people, but when it comes a person that doesn't want to cooperate, you need to be able to switch to another mode and rise above a little bit, become a little bit more emotional, mature, and kind of deal with this person in a gracious but very grown up and very like in a way where you have strict boundaries. Sometimes it can be hard when you are like put in a setting to be just nice. You're trying to be nice, and then there comes a person that's taking advantage of this. I remember when I was working at the office as fairly young age, and I was running to the office, and someone, like a guy like this, asked me to answer his phone. And I did answer his phone, because he said I was tuned in to being nice. If someone would say the same thing to me today, I would say, well, my friend, I think you are capable to answer your own phone. Okay, so it's just about the setting. If you think everyone's nice, you are going to act nice towards everyone, and they are going to kind of use this in a not so gracious way. Okay, so next card here is the Magician. So this is the logic part of the brain. It's number 1. Fool is when we were still in this paradisic state together with the animals. We could communicate with them telepathically. And the Magician is when we woke up in our left side brain. We discovered our left side brain, our logic thinking, being able to plan for the future. So this is a part of this old brain, and it's very good with calculation, but it's only like 10 or 20% of our total intelligence, because the most of our intelligence is stored in the subconscious. That is why we say, I'm going to sleep on it, because when you sleep on it, your subconscious will calculate the best way for you to deal with stuff. And you can also ask like big minds, like Einstein is the best example, that they came up with their best ideas while taking a shower or going on a walk. It wasn't when they were preoccupied with thinking. But the magician is good. It's like the word. If you want to envision something, if you want to start a project, you need to start envisioning it and starting the action, like putting the word out. If you want to build a house, you need to have a vision of it, make a print, like a plan for it, and then start hiring contractors and start taking the first shovel. So this is the magician, putting things into action. This is how human beings could start to change their environment. It's not many animals that can do this. We have some beavers and ants and things that can, elephants as well. A lot of, like, there's a lot of animals that can do this, but not in the scale that human beings are able to. So here we have a person that kind of wants to make things better for them. It might have started like the behavior that a squirrel has. They want to collect things for the winter so they will be safe, but this has extended and extended and extended and become like someone wants to own everything or rule everything, to be the only ones that's safe. So it's a little bit like it has, the pendulum movement has moved to its extreme, we can say. With the Five of Swords and the Magician together, it's very much a manipulating force. And here we have the Strength. So we see that the person with the 8 here has a lot of strength to deal with this. We had the 8 of Wands in the bottom of the deck, and here's 8 of Coins, and this is 8 Strength. It's a major arcana card that rules the other 8s. And this is Leo, so this is about following your own heart, following your own longing, your own soul, your own instincts. So even if you are dealing with a person that's very manipulative, it seems like you can be able to keep a cool exterior and deal with this in a gracious way, because you don't take this personally. You see that this is about the other person. They are behaving in this way. And we saw King of Coins together with the 8 of Wands in the bottom of the deck. So the King of Coins is a person that's a little bit like a squirrel, collecting a lot of stuff in his castle to prepare for a siege or the end of the world or similar things. And they invite the people that's their tribe, their family, but they don't care about the people on the outside. It's like gated community. But here it's like someone, probably you Pisces, are able to rise above this situation with these people being scared and thinking that they need to fight others to survive and that they need to come out on top to be safe and things like this, and you know better. And for some of you cross watchers, this might of course be the Pisces doing this. It might go in the total reverse, but usually it's not the Pisces that do this that's also watching this reading. Usually they are not that into Tarot. They are more into plans and schemes. And here we have the World card. So this is saying that this karma will end, that there's an evolution at the door, and you are part of that evolution with just keeping, like, being cool, just seeing what this calculating entity is doing and just watching it, coming with like calm, cool counter reactions and not involving in the drama at all, because these people want to intimidate other people and create drama. So this is how they steal your energy, by making you sad, making you upset. But here no one is getting upset by this behavior. It's like, well, okay, so yes, kind of answer your own phone. With the Magician, it's communication. We have also Mercury moving retrograde since August 14, so that might make a little spin in your communications as well. The World card is about, this is just a test for you to use your strength, use your very grounded, non-dramatic skills to just deal with this situation graciously, to prove that this is not something that bothers you anymore. If people are behaving like this, you either step away or you say something logic and cool back to them, so they don't have to spin off in it doesn't have to spin off in some kind of war or battle or something like that. Sometimes you need to speak a little bit back and forth with a person, but if you're keeping like this cool and collected and loving yourself, trusting yourself, not questioning yourself, because this person will question you and say, so why didn't you do that? You could have done it better. And you will be like, well, I did it in the way that that suited me best, and you can deal with your stuff in the best way that suits you. So it's just an example. It doesn't have to be like this at all. But this person wants to intimidate, it wants to scare, it wants to make you feel bad about yourself. And this person, they don't feel bad about themselves at all. They are just like, well, I see that you have a little bit of a problem here. Do you want some help? I can assist you. You don't have to feel or act in that way to get energy or appreciation. You can just start sharing and cooperating, and you will be like included anyway. This is being included as well. It's soulmates. It's becoming the bigger one. Finalizing a test, being able to do something that you weren't able to do before. It's something that you have worked on for a very long time, and now you finally see it. Now it finally comes easy for you. It's not a problem anymore. And you also, it's like this dramatic entity might have been living inside of you as well. And now it's, you have it, you don't have to go that road anymore, because you feel cool and calm. So you don't have to start drama or trying to make people see things your way. They don't have to. It's no issue for you if they believe something else than you do. You don't have to get people over to your side. You are on your side now. So it's very good, Pisces. It's like you have been finding your soul, inviting it home, and now you feel like you are super powerful, and you have found like a new foundation that's not so easily rocked. You're stable. And this is the now, the first part of September, and we have a 3 of Swords. So the things that you have learned here, they haven't come without pain. So just because you are stable and not so easily rocked, you still feel like a question mark. Why are people acting like this? Why can't I find like a person that's more like me and wants to cooperate, wants to communicate, connect, be close? So it can be a big pain for you. Many people have been dealing with this their whole life, dealing with people that doesn't want to cooperate, rather wants to steal your stuff or your pride or your heart or whatever, your honor, your everything, and you don't understand why this is so. And it's hard to understand, but my best guess is what I already said, that it's a question of evolution. And when people are dealing with people that's very troublesome like this, they usually enable them a little bit because they don't want to have conflict. The most people are very cool. They don't like conflict. So when a person comes and cause a lot of conflict, people enable them. They kind of walk around eggshells around them and make them feel as comfortable as possible, so they won't blow up and do something dramatic and stupid or start to argue with you. So you're always petting them the right way, and therefore they have kind of fall back in evolution. They haven't been put through the same pain as you have been, so they haven't learned, they haven't experienced, they don't have the ability to be like you. Because people have been too nice. They are spoiled, to be frank. Yes, it has been painful. Yes, you would prefer to meet people like you that can love you. But maybe you are supposed to meet people like this. So you will do them the honor of helping them with their evolution. Since you are so gracious, you will probably, by small means, small gestures, small words, be able to tell them, like put a little mirror in front of them and say, but would this be such a big problem for you, really? And you can help them with their evolution, so they will come to this place too. It's gracious. And here we have a 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands means that you're really, really tired of fighting. It's like you're in a war that you haven't choose for yourself. You're just put there in this war, and you have been given like a weapon and an armor, like a shield anyway, and you can't believe your own eyes. Why do I have to deal with people that's always going to argue with me, always going to not want to cooperate, always going to say nasty words or try to drag me down? I'm so tired. When will I reach home? When will I reach a place where I actually can feel love and don't have to fight all the time? And the divine is kind of saying, well, you know, we just swim a little bit longer. We can see a seagull now, so you must be close to land. And they have kind of been saying that to you the last 10 years or so. So you're starting to disbelieve them. But we see that you're not really beaten to the ground. You have at least been able to put yourself up here, and still some fighting spirit left in you, and those borders that you have put against this people that might be a little bit difficult in your life, you have put a boundary towards them. So this is it's like a stale. It's nothing is really happened here, because you have probably withdrawn a little bit or put some kind of boundary. Maybe you have even blocked a person or stopped speaking to them. And you are just waiting for the next round. You're just waiting for people to do the same thing again. 9 of Wands is like a preparedness to get hurt. So it's like an old hurt is coming up within you and wants to be seen. It's this pattern what I was talking about to you earlier. Because you have been hurt so much, you kind of expect to get hurt. You kind of expect for people to be stupid, and you are a little bit defensive. So this might make you actually create the situation that you are afraid of, and you might be very blunt with some people. It's like we can see in movies, like the girl is always saying no, 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 and like being very angry with people, or a man coming and trying to court them at a restaurant or a bar, for example. So this is this kind of thing. I have been hurt so many times. I know stupid people like you, and I won't let anyone in. So that's a problem. When there comes like a really sincere suitor and wants to connect with you, they can't, the shy ones, they won't be able to go through your panzer, your borders here, because they are too shy. So the nice ones, they will give up before they even try, and they will think like, okay, all girls are bitches. They are so mean. Every time I try to speak to one, they blow my head off. And you are just thinking like, oh, there comes another of those, just trying to charm their way, like the magician, the way into my bedroom. This is how the misunderstanding goes on, because people are so prepared to defend themselves against the 2 or 10% stupid people in the world, that they can't acknowledge like a nice person that wants to come in. And I don't really have any solution to this, because you want to defend yourself, but maybe you can give it a little bit more time, like give the person 5 minutes before you chop their head off, and then they will have to have at least 5 minutes to prove to you, either you're a girl or a boy, man or a woman, that they can be something for real. So don't put your fences too high, because if the divine actually wants to send a person to you that would be able to meet up with you in the way that you want, maybe you would throw them out with the rest of the bunch and not even acknowledge. So here we have a Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is usually Gemini. It can be Aquarius or Libra as well. It's a rather young energy, and it's a little bit restless. It sees things from above, so it's very logic. It's like the Five of Swords and the Magician here. Very logic, very hasty, very smart. can come into hasty conclusion. It's a little bit like a person being very curious, but not staying long enough with the information to actually take it in. They are just jumping to the next and the next, and they are seeing things from like many different angles. It's like a Picasso painting. So they have a very quick mind. It's like going on hyper speed. You can see the tornado here. It's like someone thinking, and they want to see, like, be on 10 different places in the same time. So very very hasty. So this is a hasty energy coming in, and it has magician over its head. So you might be right. Maybe the person that wants to approach you are a little bit like all show and no depth. Okay, so maybe you need to prepare yourself for more encounters with more people that just think that they are going to do something, their old game, and win over you and kind of fool you because you are not as smart as them. This is how they might believe things to be. And it doesn't have to be like a air sign. Like air sign can be a little bit aloof, not so connected to their heart, but most people have like different things in their chart. So they might have be a sun in Gemini, but moon in Pisces, for example, and then they will have some really deep waters to swim in. So you can't just judge a person from their sun sign. And people, even like Aquarius and Libra and Gemini, are they want to have things very logically. They want to have things very just usually. So that's for them. They are very just. They have this sense of justice, and to not, like the King of Swords, Aquarius is like, you shouldn't make war at all. But this Knight of Swords is young. It's like a restless warrior that haven't really been seeing the horrors of death, because they are, to be frank, a little bit spoiled, especially with the magician on top of the head there. So it's like people have enabled them and just let them roam around because they might have a good look, or they might be smart, or they might be of this right racial group, in the right age and the right gender. So they might be like enabled because of this. So it's like this person lives in their little bit fantasy world where they are the ruler of it all and smarter than anyone else. I can't really explain it better than that. And here you have a 2 of coins, and it comes underneath the strength card. So it seems like this person will have trouble when meeting with you, because you are the strength here, and you are very cool, and their old game is not working. So they are being like, well, I juggle like I always do, and nothing is happening. This person is like not reacting. They are not even lifting an eyebrow. So it might be that you have a partner that usually makes you go into a spin, like making you feel dramatic because they do some stupid thing that's not really nice, and you feel like, well, they don't love me, and why are they doing like this, and the tears come in your eyes, and yes, things like this. But here it's like you don't really care about this. You have seen it before. It's the same show as like 10,000 times before. So you have become rather experience. That's probably why you have this 9 of Wands there. So they can come and juggle and charm the pants out of themselves, but you won't really care. Well, I think this is good. You are solving a karma. This is karma, the wheel here, 8. Is it the eternity, like trying to solve? I think you have come up with a very great solution to deal with difficult people in your life. That's very admirable, I would say. Even the spirit thinks that it's admirable. You know what I mean. So you are doing something good, and it is Jupiter in Capricorn, so you are kind of shining the light on what the person is doing to make themselves feel safe, and that they are only trying to make themselves feel safe, not you. And you are seeing right through this, their charade, their masquerade. It's good. So here you have a 5 of coins. So this is not you this time. This is you making the other person feel like this. Their old game isn't working. So they are being like, what? What happened? Have I lost my charm? Have I lost my looks? What has happened? Why is this person not interested in me anymore? And you are probably still interested in this person. It's just you're not interested in a drama anymore. You are kind of done with this. You have learned your lesson. It was fun for a while, but now you got it. You have done this so many times. So now it's time for this other person to learn their lesson. And it might be, yes, that you're putting them a little bit out in the cold. We saw this this blocking that might going on. So from being the Five of Swords and feeling like on top of the world, like I rule this, I am able to fool whomever and get whatever I want. This is a beautiful world and everything is mine, my precious. Sorry for the reference there. And this is how they will feel when you have put your boundary towards them. Not they don't feel as inflated. They feel more like, what happened? Don't you love me anymore? So you made them feel like they made you feel up here, or probably back here. Okay, so that was the now. So it will be some kind of showdown where you will have to prove your new learned skill. So it won't be really nice, and you will be really tired and sad because why? Why do I have to do this one more time? But you have to, because now this person needs to learn something, and it will be really simple. Usually, maybe just by you not engaging anymore, you will teach them this lesson. So you don't have to do this so much more, just that you at least need to tell them why. It would be very gracious of you to tell them why. I'm tired of your games. So they will know. Good feedback is like very valuable. Most people are just like they become very defensive when they are dealing with people like that, and they are just like blocking them out, never speaking to them again. But I'm all about giving feedback. So it's better if you can tell a person why, exactly why. And even if they will judge this, it doesn't matter to you. You know that this is the truth to why you are doing this. So you don't need a feedback from them of how stupid you are because you said this. It's your truth. So you can just tell them like, okay, this is my reasons for not wanting to deal with this circus again. And you will tell them, so they will at least know why they are banging on your door and no one is opening. Okay. So, and the same goes the other way around, of course. If you are dealing with a Pisces acting like this is how you're supposed to deal with them. So, because we are connected to our star sign, yes, but we have a lot of others aspects and things going on for us, and also we are yin and yang. So we might go down like the shadow Pisces or the bright Pisces, and it's nothing wrong with either of them. It's not like we should judge this person being like bad and they can go to hell. It's not like that. They are wonderful tools for us to be able to learn this. So they have actually given us a gift. We have been able to experience this, what we needed to learn. So thank you for the lesson, and now I'm going to give you one in return for you. So this is how it works. Our greatest enemies are usually the one that we are being taught the most big value life lessons from. So don't be rude. Even if they are, don't be rude. Be gracious. Then you don't create any karma for yourself, even though you have to go to war. And the pain increases here with the 10 of Swords, but it's probably you thinking, well, you see the truth of the situation. Like, yes, this person was just here to win over me, to steal my stuff, to use and abuse me, and they laughed all the way. Like they thought that they fooled me, and they did, because I saw people as nice because I am nice, and these persons see people as either smart or easily fooled, because they have this little bit piece of brain capacity that's not that big, so they can just see their little part of the world. And now you are waking up to this truth, and it might be very scary and very like you don't want to see this ugly truth. And you have been putting a lot of effort into this and into being nice and trying to be a good person, while the other one just trashed the place. And this is a sad truth to be able to have to open your eyes to. But we are still in 2017, the year when the apocalypse will come, like the veil will fall. Apocalypse just means that the veil will fall, and you will have to open your eyes eventually. Still, this person doesn't want to do this, but it's the Ten of Swords, so this is like when the penny will fall down, and you will actually see the ugly truth of something. And when you do, you are able to take the right kind of actions to deal with that said truth. So it's a really good thing, even though it's hurtful and it's painful that people can be this evil and do those bad things. But as I said, it was just for you to be able to learn this and open your eyes. So it will be better in the future, because it's kind of the law of repulsion. When you say no to stupid things, there will be less of them. And when you say yes to beautiful things, it will be more of those. So it's just you creating, like becoming the magician and creating something that you actually want to have with your own smartness and intelligence, instead of just trusting others that they will cooperate with you in this beautiful way that is the core of humanity. You can see this in so many different ways, even if kind of the news shows wants to show humanity as a dreadful species. We are not. The most people are nice and try to be nice and always think nice about other people. But there's the other party, it might be these that leads us, because we think like, well, the one that screams the highest must be right. I'm not going to give myself into that battle anyway. And so they come out on top and they feel like the top of the world and that they are so much smarter, but they are not. They are missing out on a lot of things, like not being cave people, for example. Underneath the Five of Swords and the Nine of Wands, we have the Justice. So this is, you have kind of the universe at your side. I'm still saying this, 21 world, 11 justice. This is also Libra. So peace will be done. Yin and Yang will play itself out. When you become more logic, when you actually judge other people a little bit, when you start to put boundaries towards people that's not acting nice, it's like you giving yourself justice, and then the universe just say hooray, and they are sending the energy in the same way that you have been sending them. So it's like what we have heard before. God will help the one that helps themselves. So love yourself and give yourself justice in this situation. You know what justice is. You don't have to question yourself 10,000 times more to figure it out. You already know. You don't have to be overly nice, because if you're overly nice, you won't teach other people to not be like this. Usually we just sigh and heighten our eyebrows a little bit and think, well, that was a difficult person. And they go on and think that, well, I really ruled that situation. And really, everyone think that they are difficult. So it's better to tell them, you're a little bit difficult. I see you are doing this. Point it out graciously and diplomatically, like a Libra. Okay, so, and here we have a Four of Cups. So Four of Cups comes underneath the Magician and the Knight of Swords. So it seems like this person might actually like you a great deal. But they are so used to being on top, so they can't really give up their power to actually be with you. So that's the sad part of the story. So I guess you need to keep up the boundary even into the future here in the late September and into the fall, because this person, they are starting to acknowledge that they're missing you, but they still doesn't want to give up their power or their safety zone or their survival skills or their charming techniques or whatever it has been working for them up to now. But justice says that, well, they are at least starting to missing you, and this is a start of their evolution to becoming, like, opening their heart and becoming more compassionate towards other people. The next card is the Emperor. So the Emperor comes underneath the Strength and Two of Coins. So it's like masculine spiritual growth. It's like both females and males can be very masculine, be very strong, decisive, point with their own hand, get their will to manipulate, things like this. Rule, the whole empire, the whole family, the relationship, all the friends. We know a lot of women being like this and a lot of men being like this. When men are like this, we are probably a little bit more intolerant towards it, or we make them president. It's different. But when the female are like this, we are a little bit used to it because it's a little bit like our mothers ruling the household. So we might not think that this is so dangerous. And okay, so but with the emperor, it's actually this masculine power growing into something that it was meant to be. And we know the Pisces age. We have Pisces now. We are in Pisces still. We are going into Aquarius. Pisces is 2 fishes like this, the symbol is. And it's the same symbol that was for Jesus, if you remember that guy. And Jesus came with a message that was supposed to make the divine masculine step down on earth. For people stop making wars and becoming true emperors, becoming like Jesus, like this masculine quality, compassion, love, contributing, healing, connecting, spreading the word. So it wasn't supposed to continue ruling on top of the world and being like, well, I'm the one on the top of the cliff here and I throw everyone else down. It wasn't supposed to be like this, but authority in some way hijacked these last 2000 years and the show went on. And now it's like we are getting another chance to get this, to actually make all people becoming more, having this kind of Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad kind of quality, giving love instead of war. So this is good news, and it's 4-4 here, so it might take a little time because emperors are very steady. This energy is very steady. 3, the empress is more fluid. It's easily changeable and adaptable. You have the world here, that's the kind of the central sun, the divine feminine, the egg from which we are all born, Big Bang. And here you have this masculine energy. So it will take a little bit of time. It's a little bit more slow going. It's like big empires growing and growing and growing. And eventually they will fall because we have 13, 1 plus 3, death is connected to the emperor card. So empires die. Eventually they will die. And this is the process that's going on here. But it's more delicate. It's more like step-by-step change. And that's not really usual for the emperor. It's usually just false. All the emperors fell and new takes over. But it's better to have it step by step because then it's not this old ruler falls, big new rulers of the same kind take over. So we want a more slow going process here, to not just have a big shift. And it's like with the Russian Revolution, we had a big shift and then the same kind of type of people were in power again. Stalin killed off every communist in sight and made a new Tsar regime. And here we have the High Priestess. So yes, okay, this is the old marriage between Adam and Lilith, the first woman on earth. She was a little bit too revolutionary for Adam's tastes, so he threw her out and asked for a more beautiful mate, like a more nicely going, and he got Eve, like the empress, sorry. And now this marriage is on. Masculine people are not longer afraid of their mothers. They are not longer afraid of female authority or female power. So that's good news. And for you, it means that it will take time for the masculine to grow into this. They are 2,000 years too late. And masculine, I mean both masculine, females and males. And it will take time. And it's about spiritual evolution that usually comes through pain. This is not excruciating pain. It's more like, well, this didn't work out the way I hoped kind of pain. So it's not like, because of the fair amount of pain that it's a little bit subtle, this will take also a little bit time. But as I said, it's better because the foundation will be better. we can take the example of the Russian Revolution as well, where the women went out scanning for bread and saying, we want bread. And this was supposed to be the freedom for both masculine people and feminine people. But the feminine leaders of this revolution ended up in the guillotine. So Lilith was killed in the last minute. What happened? So this can happen again. History has taught us that this can happen again and again. The Russian Revolution was also females that started, and they still were subordinate to men when the revolution was over. So there's going to happen a revolution here, but it's more step by step, and maybe it's better. Maybe it's going to be a better foundation. So whatever situation you are in, the divine is working through you. You have justice here, 11, high priestess 2, 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. So they are working through you to make this happen. So try to be a little patient with this mission of yours and with people around you, and be gracious. It's the key word for the Pisces reading here, to become gracious, not hateful and revengeful, but actually just tell the small words they need to hear, do the small deeds that they need to kind of feel, and show them the way through this beautiful evolution. Make her revolution come through this time. Okay, so I will take a card from the past, and I will take it from the Oracle of Vision, seeing what is that Pisces has been struggling with. Yes, okay, so it's a lot of memories. Memories, it's like you have invested a lot of time into this, and it might be a little bit painful, because when we have invested a lot of our time, we have invested a lot of our soul into this, and it's very sweet and vulnerable. You can see this. This person is waiting for love and wondering when will this come, when will this happen. And my answer is probably it won't happen before this evolution has taken place. But it's good that you're writing down how you feel. Giving it attention is giving it healing. It seems like it might have been gone on even since you were a little child. And it's a memory of someone as well. And it's like this is not fulfilled, all this expectation that you had, and here is you seeing the truth of this, and it's very sad. Of course it's very sad, but it's like you need to deal with this pain of this, what have happened. Like, give it a lot of attention, write it down, feel it, roll out the red carpet, so you will be healed when the day comes and this revolution takes place, and these people that you have been waiting for actually becomes ready to participate with you in love. And we'll see how long time that might take. So I use this Druid Crafts Tarot. The artist is Will Worthington. Let's see if we can get a card for Pisces future. How long will it take? Or, well, just a card for the future for Pisces. 2. 10 of Cups and the Fool. So 10 of Cups kind of says that love is present, and we just need like an evolution. We see the 21 world here, and this is the Fool. These people that has been putting themselves on top and being safe and in gated communities and not giving off their heart and everything, they need to become brave and take the jump and the leap and join the rest of us with this unconditional love thing. So, and no one can say how long time it will take, not even the divine, as you saw. So it's coming, but no one can say when. It's a rainbow here, so there's a lot of hope with this, but they are just waiting for someone to be courageous enough to expose themselves and their true, what's really in their heart. Okay, so my dear Pisces, I hope this helped. And I want you to take really good care, and I hope you will come back and join me for the mid-September readings. Okay, bye-bye.